Hi everybody, it's Mena. One second. Sorry, I had something on my camera and I had to get it off. Anyway, hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. And today in this video, I'm going to talk about my top 10 female figures in history. And I thought this would be a fun video to make because, this month is Women's History Month, and I was thinking about all the famous women who have done so many things to change the world in history, and I thought this would be a fun video to do. And I'm really excited to do it because I love Women's History Month because it shows all the famous women who did things to prove that women can do more than just stay at home and do chores. So I'm going to get started. So number one on my list would have to be Amelia Earhart. So Amelia Earhart is probably one of my favorite female figures in history just because she was the first woman to fly across the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean, and I like how she proved that women can do more than just stay at home and be at home moms or like just stay inside the whole time. And I really like her because she is just a huge part of history, just because she proved that women can fly planes and she proved that women can do anything that men can do. Number two on my list would have to be Susan B. Anthony. So I think Susan B. Anthony is a great female figure in history just because she was an activist for women's rights, and she led the women's rights campaign, and with the help of her friend Katie Stanton, and they both worked together to prove that women can do more than just stay at home as well. And I really like how she advocated for the women's rights to vote. Number three on my list had to be Harriet Tubman. So Harriet Tubman is a really important figure in history because she was an activist as well. She led a whole bunch of slaves to freedom and got them away from slavery. And I really like that about her because she was known as Moses during her era. And I love the fact that she did something right for others. She led a whole bunch of African Americans to freedom and got them away from their slave owners. Number four on my list had to be Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So Ruth Bader Ginsburg is another wonderful female figure in history just because she was the first woman to be on the Supreme Court, and I really like the fact that she can prove that women can be part of the court and how she was able to push her work into becoming a judge and be part of the Supreme Court, and I think that's super cool. Number five on my list had to be Sacagawea, or is it pronounced Sacagawea? I mean, everybody pronounces it differently, so if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, please comment down below because I have no idea how to pronounce this name. I like her. I think she is a great figure in history because she helped Lewis and Clark during their expedition, and she was able to do it all with a newborn while carrying a newborn baby on her back, which is pretty cool. And I really think she's just amazing because she was able to give them directions, lead them everywhere, and then just help them get to where they needed to be, which is super cool. Number six on my list would have to be Rosa Parks. So Rosa Parks, I think, is a really good female figure in history just because she refused to give up her seat to a fair-skinned passenger, and she was very helpful to the other African American women, proving that they had a right to sit wherever they wanted. Sadly, she was arrested, but I was super impressed by her just because she was able to prove that African Americans can sit wherever they want and they shouldn't be needed to told where they had to sit, which I think is really cool. And I love the fact that she wanted to stay in her seat and wouldn't give up her spot to a fair-skinned passenger. And I think that's super cool that she stood up to that. Number seven on my list had to be Helen Keller. So Helen Keller, I think, is a really good female figure in history just because she was blind, deaf, and couldn't speak. And she's famous for speaking out for people who had disabilities, like disabilities that were caused them to be blind, deaf, or couldn't speak. And I really like that because she's just famous for helping all those people who had disabilities that prevented them from doing certain things like talking, seeing, or hearing. And she just became a really good historical figure, just helping out the people who were born with those things, and was able to prove that she proved that even though people are blind, deaf, and can't speak, they're able to take care of themselves, which is super cool. Number 8 on my list would have to be Beatrix Potter. So I like Beatrix Potter. I think she's a really good figure in history because she's a famous author who created the Peter Rabbit books, and Peter Rabbit is probably one of my favorite books of all time, and I just love how she was able to create the characters, put a lot of imagination in the characters, and I really like that about her. And I just love how she drew the pictures because they're all very cute. Number 9 on my list had to be Aretha Franklin. So Aretha Franklin is a famous African-American singer. I really think she's a really good, important figure in history because she proved that African-Americans have talent and everything, which I think is super cool. And I love how she sang during like the was it 60s? I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. She was known as the Queen of Soul for her singing, and I really like her because she was known as one of the greatest artists of all time, which I think is pretty cool. Cool, because she had a really good voice in singing, and I really liked her singing voice. Number 10 on my list would have to be Frida Kahlo. So I think Frida Kahlo is a important female figure in history just because she's famous for her wonderful self-portrait she's drawn, like of her life, and she has quite a meaning to her artwork, and I really love her amazing self-portraits. She draws really great self-portraits. I never could do a self-portrait, to be honest. Half my self-portraits looked really bad, but I'm just amazed how she's able to draw her own self-portraits and then make them look exactly like her, which I think is pretty cool. And her artwork is just amazing through like her life, and she shows like every single piece of art she's painted is part of her life, which I think is super cool. Okay, so those are my top 10 female figures in history. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoons sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.